Welcome, Riddell Sports Network. My name is Dan, and I want to talk a little bit about the Eagles and the Cowboys game, the opening night. Eagles had a little bit of a celebration. Brandon Graham was there. He led the Eagles chant, all that good stuff. He and Jeffrey Lurie brought out the 2 Super Bowl championships. And I did the play-by-play up until the 30-plus minute lightning delay. It was very long, but in the meantime, while all that was going on, we lost internet. So I just kind of had to bail. I was still able to watch it on my phone. I couldn't watch anything, internet connected, obviously. So I obviously couldn't stream it. But the delay was so long, and it kind of hampered the game a little bit in terms of scoring. So after the delay, middle of the third quarter, no other points were scored. So take that for what it is. Now, we did predictions on Wednesday. Every week we're going to do full NFL lineup predictions. And they both took Eagles minus 8.5. I was very confident that they would not win by 9. So I took the 8.5 with Dallas. And I actually called the exact score that it was going to be. Now, did I get lucky with the lightning storm? Yes. The momentum was totally gone at that point. The score at halftime was actually 21-20. There was only 3 points in the second half. And that was, I believe it was on the opening drive of the second half. And there wasn't... I don't even know how there were so many points scored, because you look at the offensive numbers, they're not that great. Jalen Hurts was Jalen Hurts, 19 of 23, 152 yards, but he had 62 on the ground and 2 touchdowns. Barkley, 60 on the ground and a touchdown. Barkley had most of that in the first half. As soon as Landon Dickerson went down, and Toth, I believe, is the backup left guard. So they're already, Mekhi Becton's down. He went to the Chargers. I think he went to the Chargers, but Mekhi Becton was a revelation last year. And they have, was it Fred Johnson? I'm totally blanking on who the right guard was tonight, but I believe he's going to be the starting right guard for the season. And then Dickerson went down with a back injury, and the Cowboys just loaded up, and they were daring Jalen Hurts to throw, and this is what you get. I mean, 82%, 83% completion's pretty good, but 152 passing yards, not exactly what you want to see. Prescott, 21 of 34, $188, no touchdowns. Williams, now Dallas, I believe, had 7 total rushing touchdowns in 2024. So it's a good start for them. Miles Sanders, he did pretty well. He broke a big run, but he also lost a fumble. And that was pretty much it from the rushing side. Will Shipley had a couple good runs. Corey Dillon, former Bengal. A.J. Dillon had 1 good run, and then he only had 2 other carries after that, and he was basically stopped at the line of scrimmage. So I believe his long was 9, and then he had 2 more carries for a yard. Dotson played pretty well. A.J. Brown was a ghost. He was targeted once, had that catch. I felt bad for Ben Van Sumeren, who... See this guy, Granson? He's the backup fullback / third string tight end after Goddard and Calcaterra. So Ben Van Sumeren was a linebacker, kind of like a fledgling, he trying to just find his niche and not really getting any playing time. And the Eagles flipped him to a fullback, and they showed a lot of like I formation and more power style runs in this game. And Ben Van Sumeren's supposed to be the guy, but he hurt his knee on the opening play. Not even the first play from scrimmage, the opening freaking kickoff. The poor guy. Speaking of opening kickoffs, I got to talk about it. Jalen Carter lost his goddamn mind for some reason and decided, you know what, I'm going to spit on Dak Prescott. I get it. I get the hatred for the Cowboys. Believe me. but you're the most important player on the defense right now. A defense that lost so many players. I mean, CJ Gardner-Johnson, Darius Slay, Josh Sweat, Milton Williams, and I believe they said 10 defensive players, which is an NFL record from a Super Bowl championship team. 10 defensive players are gone. I think James Bradbury counts in that, but we're glad he's gone. So the Zach Bond was all over the place per the usual. What's his face? The rookie here, Jahad Campbell made a very good defensive play to break up he had a pass deflection. Very good play. I was impressed with that, but the hole that was caused by Jalen Carter's stupidity because he was immediately ejected. Dallas came out and they could not be stopped in the first half. The only thing stopping them was the end of the first half. I mean, the Eagles did, force 2 field goals, but they were scoring every single drive. So let me see if they'll show the penalties because the Eagles had a disastrous game of penalties defensively. Last time I saw it, it was 7 penalties for 93 yards. Last time I noticed it, but apparently this doesn't have it. So the first half was very exciting, back and forth. Eagles take a 21-17 lead towards the end. Dallas gets a long field goal by I almost called him Brett Maher. Who's their damn kicker? I'm just blanking on his name. Brandon Aubrey. That guy is awesome. Shout out also to Braden Mann, who kept the ball out of Turpin's hands on punts. All 3 of those went out of bounds. You could see Turpin getting visibly frustrated, and it was a fantastic job. Nobody ever wants to talk about the punter because it's boring, but he did a fantastic job. And then the second half, Eagles come out with a field goal, and Dallas gets the ball, and then we get a lightning delay. Not because there was lightning currently in the sky, but because lightning was coming. So they sent all the fans towards the concession areas, and they sent all the players in the tunnel. And it didn't restart till I think 11:22, 11:23, something like that. It was at least 30 minutes. Crazy. And they were just trying to fill time on the broadcast, and my internet went out about that point. But it's back now, obviously. But it was a pretty good game overall. A little bit scary to see how easy it was for Dallas to score when Jalen Carter wasn't in there. Vic Fangio, and I was yelling about this during the live stream I was doing, you need to blitz more. When they rushed 4, Prescott had a month to throw it. He had all day. It was crazy. But then he started mixing in some blitzes, confusing them a little bit, and that's what you got in the second half. Because player for player with a 4-man rush, Dallas has a pretty good offensive line. They usually do. But if you go player for player when you have Jalen Carter, then that's doable. Then you can just, drop back and take your chances. But he had all day to throw it, and that's concerning for future, especially if Jalen Carter is going to be a head case or he gets hurt, whatever the case. You need to be a little more creative because that first half was a bit jarring. Now, you can say, oh, well, they shut him out in the second half. Both teams were totally flat in the second half. Sedarian Lamb, the best receiver ever to ever exist and who will ever exist, he dropped 2 passes. That third one, they tried to say on the broadcast that it was he should have had it. Gonna have to disagree with that one. The third one, he lays out for it. It's a pretty deep pass, and he almost hauls it in. That would have been a Odell Beckham level catch if he would have snagged that. But Philly ends up holding it out, and kind of the end of the game was just a bit, back and forth of teams trying to find their rhythm again, because it was just that break, man. It was weird that both teams just felt so flat. So, but Philly picks up the win. They are 2-0 in defending their Super Bowl championship. So I'm very happy about that. And I believe they play the Chiefs next week. Let's check that out. Philadelphia Eagles. So the Chiefs play the Chargers tonight. And they play, I'm pretty sure, the Chiefs next week. Please tell me. Okay, that's good. It's not on CBS. That is a very, very good sign. Because if it was on CBS, it'd be Tony Romo. As much as I love Jim Nantz, they are insufferable. Not they. He is insufferable. The Eagles have at Chiefs, host the Rams, and I think early impressions, now I haven't seen the Chiefs play yet, but early impressions is the Chiefs are going to be out for blood. So they got embarrassed. I think the Chiefs end up winning that game. So they got a couple of, 3 tough ones right in a row after the Chiefs. Tampa, you say, oh, it's just Tampa. Tampa always handles Philly. Always. They either have the personnel or the proper setup. I don't know what it is, but each time that they play them, they just handle them. So. But anyways, I think that'll pretty much do it. I'm not going to watch the game tomorrow. It's Chiefs and Chargers. It is free on... I'm not going to watch the game today because it's past midnight now as I'm recording this, but you can't get me to watch a Chiefs game unless they're playing the Eagles, I guess. So I'm not doing it. It's a waste of time. So we all know it's going to be a boring ass game with a boring ass ending. They're playing in Brazil. It is free on YouTube. So you don't need like a YouTube Plus or YouTube Premium, whatever the hell it is. It's just free for everybody. So aside from that, there was news that came out that I guess I'll talk to Dave about on Wednesday when we do our weekly show, is that the Eagles tried to get Mike Parsons from Dallas, and Dallas said no way. Could you imagine? Could you imagine him just walking across the locker room for this game? It'd be pretty weird. But anyways, let me know what you think down below. If you're an Eagles fan, are you excited for them for this year? Repeat is a hell of a tall task. People are already calling for it, but let's just gotta win today. Let's just look at next week. That's all you can do as a fan. So I do appreciate the very few opportunities that a fan can get in their lives. Seeing their team win the championship is, I never thought before 2017-2018 season, it's the 2017 season, 2018 Super Bowl, I never thought I would ever see the Eagles win a Super Bowl. And now I've been lucky enough to see 2, and I'm so incredibly grateful for it. So thank you for watching, and maybe I'll do a game on Sunday. I'm not quite sure yet. I got to look at the lineup just of the local channels. I didn't. Red Zone, by the way, they're throwing commercials in, so I certainly won't be doing that. Just whatever's on local, I'll probably check out. But all right, thank you for watching. Keep an eye on the channel. I'll put up like an early video, like a kind of like a premiere thing or whatever you call it. It'll show up in the feed. So if you're interested, just keep an eye on that, and I'll do a play-by-play if it's an interesting game to me personally, I guess. But other than that, if not, I'll probably talk a little bit about Yankees Astros and into Yankees Blue Jays with a future video. But until then, I will catch you guys later.